that talks about the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time to plant a tree is now. And basically we are saying to attain success and growth in the future, then the best time to act is now. And we are taking the initiative to start the journey now so that we can become better leaders as we continue. The issue is not being the best, but the issue is continuing becoming better as leaders. Again, the other comment I want to point out is that you visualize tomorrow, which gives us hope, motivation, and foresight, but we value and manage today. The greatest achievement in this program is how we are able to manage this decision that we have made. Because it's not just the decision that we make and that makes the difference, it's how we manage the decision on a daily basis. So here we are, we have joined on board, we've made a very good decision, and now as we move on, the most important challenge will be how do we manage this decision to the very end of the program. Managing decision, it's about how do we stay on board, how do we continue becoming active throughout, and how do we maintain the momentum. So this is the challenge that all of us will move with, and we'll all need to embrace so that we walk through this journey until the very end. And at this point, let me mention our vision as Generational Leadership Network. The Generational Leadership Network is the umbrella, but the program, we normally refer to it as Global Leadership Network. So our vision, and this is something that I want just all of us to maybe continuously remember throughout the session. We are out here to equip generational thinker, leaders who are generational thinkers, the purpose-centered, vision-driven in every home, in every organization, and in every country. Okay, so as you go through the program, as we were going through the program ourselves and taking the other people through the program, this is the mindset that I am a generational thinker, and therefore I think beyond myself, and I'm leading for a purpose. I have a vision, and we planning, or we are equipping these leaders across board, meaning that from the houses, from the organization, and from the country. There's a picture there of two generations. When we were out for a retreat, maybe some of you can be able to identify the people who are on the screen there, especially those of us who are from DCI, DC Umoja. That is Leah and a young man. This is what we are referring to as a generational thinker, a generational leader, going beyond myself and equipping leaders beyond just my generation to a bigger perspective. So this is our vision, a generational thinker, purpose-centered, vision-driven leader in every home, in every organization, and in every country. Okay. There are perspectives. So I've shared the three mindsets that we'll embrace throughout this journey of this course. There are also perspectives. There are also perspectives that we'll be able to embrace as we walk through this journey. I don't know, let me check where you are. Are you able to have a small paper, a small piece of paper? Maybe from a notebook? If you're able to have a small piece of paper from your notebook, I want us to do an exercise. So if you're able to put your video on, please do so. As I share about perspective. Are you able to have a small piece of paper with you? Joyce M, I see you already have one. Sarah, are you able to have a small piece of paper with you? Okay. Vanice, are you able to have a small piece of paper? So if you already have, you can just show me so that I see who are ready. The small piece of paper. Yeah, thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Joyce. Jackson, are you able to have a small piece of paper? Peter, you can get are you able to get a bigger one, a slightly bigger? Maybe yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Peter. Jackson, are you able to get a piece of paper? Okay. Esther, are you able to get a piece of paper, maybe from a notebook? Okay, so I can see Sarah is ready, Joyce is ready. Terry Mungai, are you able to get a small piece of paper from a notebook? Good. Maybe Terry, if you can get a slightly bigger one, it will be good. Ruth, hi Ruth. Ruth, are you able to get a small piece of paper? Okay, so let's do with the ones that are already there. We'll do this exercise again as we continue. So we'll do a simple exercise just to appreciate the power of perspective throughout the session. So I'll request that just follow the instruction until the very end without asking any question. We'll ask the question at the end. So with your paper, having your paper, hold your paper, just hold your paper like this. Hold your paper like this. Yeah, and then close your eyes. So close your eyes until I tell you to open your eyes. So let your eyes remain closed throughout. And then just follow the instruction as I will guide you. So with your paper folded, with your paper, holding your paper, the first instruction is fold your paper in half. Fold your paper in half. Still with your eyes closed, fold your paper in half. Okay. Next, cut off the upper right-hand corner. Cut off the upper right-hand corner. Cut off the upper right-hand corner. Okay, next, fold the paper in half. Now this time, cut off the lower side, lower right-hand corner. Cut off the lower right-hand corner. Okay, I can see you are doing well, so just continue with your eyes still closed. So I'm watching and I can see what you're doing. Well done. I fold the paper in half again. Okay. Now this time, cut off the upper side, but left hand. Cut off the upper side, left hand side. Okay. Again, fold the paper in half. Fold the paper in half. And this time, cut off the lower side, left hand. The lower side, left hand. I know you're struggling. You have now the paper is a bit thick. So just use any technique to cut off. Okay, now unfold the paper. Unfold the paper. Still your eyes closed. Unfold the paper. And now you can open your eyes. Open your eyes. Now let's see. Are there two papers that look identical? Sarah Joshua, we can see yours. Wow, thank you. Joyce, let's see yours. You can hold it on the, okay, Lucy, we can see yours. Yours has, there's a hole in the middle there for Lucy. Who else? Evelyn, just hold yours, we can see it. Wow, you can see Evelyn's paper. Peter, we can see yours also. Terry Mungai, let's see yours. We can see yours. Now, is there any paper that looks like yours? Is there any paper that is similar to yours? Or close? Pastor Lucy, is there that look similar to yours? They are all different.
No.
They are all different. And what does this communicate to us, Pastor Lucy?
We are thinking differently, or we understood the instructions differently.
So we are thinking differently, or we understood the instruction differently.
Yeah.
Joyce Mutua, what does this communicate to us as leaders?
Okay, I've not been able to see other people's cuttings because of Zoom, but the point is, yes, I agree. We are all different, so probably that's why we have different results.
Yeah, true, yes. True. So different people interpret instruction differently. Sarah, what's your point on this?
By the end of the day, yes, you may be a group, but you are individuals. So the way you may take something may be totally different from there or take it. So by the end of the day, we are a group, yes, but you're individuals. Very, I would say very what? Very, the word is getting away, but you're individuals. So you have something special about yourself.
Yeah. And Sarah, you said you are a teacher by profession.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, CBC. This is something to do with the CBC also. Yeah, now we are appreciating the kids and their uniqueness and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, so in this masterclass, we respect perspectives, and not just in this masterclass, but in leadership. At some point, at some times, you might think your perspective is right until you listen more to another person's perspective. And all of a sudden you realize this person has been communicating something, but I didn't get it clearly. So as we'll be talking about communication later on, in communication, we say we become better listeners. We are quick to listen. Actually, the Bible puts it very clear. Be quick to listen. Be quick to listen and slow to speak. Yeah, so we respect all perspectives. You'll be doing group works. In those group works, everyone's perspective matters. And maybe with a little more listening, we will be able to get a message that will have missed out if I had probably stood to my perspective so much in a way that I'm not giving that attention to be able to listen to the other person's perspective. So all perspectives are important and all perspectives are appreciated, not just in the masterclass, but in leadership. In leadership, because sometimes the answer might be there. The person might be holding the answers. There are many times I see in different setups, you see someone is asking a question and someone is already replying, and you wonder, surely did the person really get the whole story? And you realize maybe the person had not even understood the whole story. So we want to get the whole story before we can be able to appreciate your perspective, or even convince the other person why they need to change their perspective and embrace the other person's perspective. So we appreciate all perspectives in this session, and we encourage all of us to be able to share out. Now, the other perspective which we'll engage on as we continue, we want at the end of the day to appreciate the critical role of leadership. The critical role of leadership. Sometimes we feel that we're not giving leadership the weight it deserves. Yeah, so this program is helping us to see that we need to give leadership more weight in how we discuss about it at whatever level, more weight in how we plan to invest in it, in personal growth, especially in the area of leadership, more weight in terms of how we are championing leadership wherever we are. So this, in other words, is a buzzword that needs to be re-echoed across board. I think in Exodus, there is a scripture that talks when the children of Israel were being given instruction about the law. They were being told, talk about these things to the children as you eat, as you walk. Okay, sorry for that. As I said, the issue of resilience, you can see all of us are affected in one way or another. Yeah, so an army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. Yeah, an army of sheep led by a lion will always defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. This is how important leadership is. So it's all about who is in front. Whoever is in front determines the feeling of the people, determines how high or how low the people are able to go. So, and I think John Maxwell also insisted on this when he said everything rises and falls on leadership. So in this masterclass, we want to build this appreciation of how critical leadership is in terms of championing the change. The second perspective, and this one also someone mentioned this, is sharpening time. This will be a sharpening time in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge, in terms of the mindset, and also in terms of the experience. There will be practical sessions on how we demonstrate our own leadership within the group. So throughout the session, it will be more of how do we become sharper. Ecclesiastes 10:10, if the axe is dull and one does not sharpen the edge, then he must use more strength, but wisdom brings success. The other versions talks about skills bring success. So as a leader, if I'm sharpened, then with little strength, I'm able to be more productive. There is a principle that we'll discuss later on, referred to as Pareto rule. Pareto rule talks about the 20-80 principle. So if you are sharpened, then 20% effort can give you 80% results. But if I'm not sharpened, then I'll use 80% effort to get 20% results. And Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. So this will be moments of retreating. We retreat as leaders. And in those retreat moments, they are sharpening moments. So we expect that at the end of it all of us will have been sharpened in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge, in terms of our mindset, experience, and also broadening our network. The other mindset or the other perspective is cultivating resilience in leaders. Resilience, stay on power. Resilience means stay on power. It means bounce back power, come back power. As leaders, we are bombarded by challenges every day. So how well are we able to stay on course? How are we able to get back on course? Like in this season of COVID, a lot has happened around us. Sometimes you find people have lost focus. Even yourself, there are a lot of challenges that we're experiencing. So resilience is very important in this moment. That ability to bounce back, that ability to come back on course. And success is determined by your inner drive or the inner power to remain on course. So resilience, basically we are saying the inner strength to get back on track despite the challenges, despite the hurdles, despite the pressure. How am I able to remain on course? And even in the masterclass, there'll be pressure in a way, there'll be more demands in a way, but at the end of it all, those of us who will be resilient will be able to stay on course to the very end. And this is what makes the difference between those who succeed and those who give up along the way. So resilience, cultivating resilience in leadership. Again, we hope and we expect that in this masterclass, we'll be able to lift the leadership lead. The leadership lead. Yeah, you can see that photo there. This guy is inside a bottle and is trying to lift the lead. So as we be cultivating our skills, we'll also be able to lift our leadership capacity and our leadership standard, our leadership quality, our leadership level, in line with what John Maxwell said in the law of the lead, which states that leadership ability is the lead that has a certain level of effectiveness, and also it determines the level of an organization, the level of success of a person, and the inadequacy of leadership ability is a limitation. It's one of the major limitations that we are facing. And this has been said so many times, even for Africa, that Africa does not lack resources. The challenge that we experience is more related on the issues of leadership. So we'll be lifting the lead from a personal level and the organization level, the ministry level, wherever we are. As we become better, we realize that we are lifting everybody up. So we expect that we'll be able to lift our leadership lead. Next, we also expect that we'll appreciate the value of self-care. Self-care. As leaders, there is always a temptation probably to give more attention on the outward than we give the attention on the inward. And as we give the attention on the inner man, we are able to offer good leadership on the outer environment. So these sessions will be self-care sessions, self-care moments where I block everything else and I give time to myself. So the leadership is helping each and every one of us to give time to ourselves. And time to ourselves so that we can be able to look at my leadership qualities, my leadership abilities, my leadership experience, and also listen to other leaders, connect with other leaders, and become better as we lead. If you have been on board a plane, you have heard this announcement many times. It's always said that in the event of an emergency, what are you required to do? Put your own oxygen mask on first. That might sound selfish, but it's the only way you can save a life. In case of an emergency, put on your oxygen mask first. And this is what it means to be conscious of self-care. And this announcement, if I hear this announcement, it always resonates. I always think about leadership, that if I'm able to become better, then I can be able to better the lives of people that I'm leading. And Urin Urban said, my secret to success is making sure that my cup is full so I can pour into my team, my organization, and my industry. I like this. I like this. So I think as we sit down every Sunday, our cups will always have something new to put in so that we can be able to pour out to other people. So developing ourselves as leaders will enable us to be able to develop others. Taking care of ourselves will help us to be able to take care of the people that we are leading. And someone said, Greg said, you can't give what you don't have. So as we enrich ourselves, in other words, we are saying we want to enrich others, but we want to have self-care moments to be able to be in a position to enrich others. So leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. This is John F. Kennedy. A leader is always a learner. And when we stop learning, in essence, it's like we stop leading, because what am I giving to the people? What am I offering to the people? So in this masterclass, it will be an opportunity just to pause, refill our cups, then go out and fill other people's cups. Fill our cups so that we can be able to fill other people's cups. Lift up our lead so that we can be able to lift other people's leads. Michael Angela, at the age of 87, he said, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. So it's a continuous curve. As we walk through, we'll be able to appreciate this learning curve. The other perspective of the masterclass is to build, develop dynamic leaders, not static, but dynamic. Managers are more static, but leaders are more dynamic. Because for leaders, the situation is always uncertain, and we are always on the move. So leaders who are adaptable to what we are referring to as VUCA world. VUCA world. VUCA world means volatile, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of ambiguity, complex. So we are in a period where something happening in China in few hours, it's already happening in Kenya. So we are in one village, and the changes are so rapid. People are so informed. The people we are leading are so informed. If you are in a Sunday school, now you're not just dealing with children, you are dealing with informed children. And this is so dynamic. And therefore, if we are to cope in this kind of the environment, then we need to be very dynamic. Dynamic to be able to cope with the rapid change and constant transition that is happening around us in the complexity of our environment. So the rapid change, constant transition have made leadership very complex, challenging responsibility. And therefore, as leaders, we have no choice but to be able to adapt. Adapt will be a key word. Innovate, learn, unlearn, relearn, and also help others to be able to do the same. So an individual or even an organization that is able to learn that fast and translate our learning into something meaningful, then we'll be able to remain or to have a competitive advantage. In a way, maybe there are strategies that worked along the way, but now some of the strategies may not work maybe from this point forward. And for us to be able to understand the strategies that are able to work, then it means we have to be in the learning mode throughout. Okay, so dynamic leaders is the perspective that we are cultivating in this masterclass. And just to conclude on the perspective, John Maxwell says, to remain a credible leader, I must always work fast, hardest, and longest on changing myself. changing myself. Remember where we started? The 3 scenarios. Who wants to change? Who wants to lead the change? And who wants change? So it all starts from ourselves. It's never easy, it's never natural, but it is essential. Alvin said, the illiterate of the future are not those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn and relearn. And COVID has taught us this. Sometimes you will have to try untested systems along the way. Sometimes we have to think on our feet as we implement, as we think on what to do. We are already, the demand is already there, the pressure is already there for us to do something. So we are undertaking changes, sometimes even without that clarity of what will really happen. And John Wesley, once in 7 years, I ban all my sermons, for it is a shame if I cannot write better sermons now than I did 7 years ago. So how am I leading now? And how was I leading 7 years ago? Have I improved on my leadership styles, my leadership skills, my leadership systems, my leadership perspectives? Because growth is the change that we are all experiencing. How better are we? And this is what John Wesley was communicating. For him, it was about sermons, that once in 7 years, I ban all my sermons, because it's a shame if I cannot write better sermons 7 years down the line. So I think as we reflect on our leadership, we also be looking back from the moment I consciously felt I'm a leader to now. Have I become better? Am I becoming better? So we'll be discussing that as we continue. And a leader should keep his head in the clouds, but feet on the ground. As a leader, we are ahead, and to keep ahead is to keep growing, is to keep advancing, so that the people we are leading, we are able to show them where we have been. We are able to take them where we have been. We are able to share with them the experience that we have already undergone. So this is how we become dynamic as leaders, and this is the perspective of the masterclass. Finally, the other perspective is to appreciate the power of networking and collaboration. The power of networking and collaboration. In these 2 pictures, A and B, where do you see leadership? Where do you see leadership? In B? In B. Anybody saying A? We said all perspectives are appreciated and respected. So anybody for A? Okay, I can see someone on the chat. B. So everybody is on B. B. Sarah, B. Joyce saying B. Yeah, I think we appreciate that we can see leadership in B. And does this translate to us as leaders, wherever we are? How many times have we offered a shoulder for someone to be able to get to a higher level? How many times? I think the chat are all saying B, so I'll just proceed. So we want to cultivate that appreciation. If you look in the corporate world, they're able to do well because they understand this. I think I need to pause for us to appreciate that. Corporate world, they are doing well because they appreciate this. They appreciate the power of networking and the power of collaboration. And what happens is that you focus on your core, I focus on my core, and then we collaborate. And we become better, and all of us become winners at the end of the day. So this is the mindset of a global leader, because we cannot get to a global level as an individual. We get to the global level because I've been able to team up, I've been able to collaborate, I've been able to network. That is the strategy of getting to the global arena. So we are all for team B. And John Maxwell, one is too small a number to achieve greatness. No accomplishment of real value has ever been achieved by a human being working alone. Every big vision requires people. Every big vision goes beyond an individual. So we expect that we'll enhance our appreciation on how we collaborate, how we network, how we co-learn, how we co-create, and this way will help us to maximize our impact, maximize the success, maximize the benefit, and also synergize, create synergy within ourselves. The power of networking, practically we took some time out there, and this was a networking session this year in March, as we went out and we were able to build a big web using some strings. And we were saying, this is how we need to hold. Each and every person needs to hold the part of this web to make it become a bigger world. Networking, we expect that we'll also have outdoor activities. You can see these are teams out there undertaking some activities just to challenge our creativity, and also we get to know each other better. So we're expecting to also have more of this as we continue. This is also another activity that we were having out there, allowing a leader to lead you when you are blindfolded, and the lessons that we were able to learn from that. You can still see the same there. And then this is the team of the people that we have already equipped. And every year we move out just to be able to network with all those who have gone through the masterclass. Now for the structure, I just wanted to build on the perspective, but now I want to come closer to the program. The course structure, what do we expect as we get into the coursework? One, the masterclass is in 4 stages. Currently, we're implementing 4 stages. They're supposed to be 5, but 4 are already on. The first one, stage 1, is coursework. And the coursework will handle 16 modules from the manual, Becoming a Global Leader. And probably we can do a check here as at this stage. How many of us have received the manual, Becoming a Global Leader? If you already have one, okay, I can see 5 participants have received, 4 participants have received. So I see a number of you have not received the manual. So we'll work on the logistics of how we'll be able to get these manuals, because we'll be using this manual. Okay, I can see Sarah, you're lifting up your manual. So we'll work around this week to make sure that you already have the manual so that we can start working together, because we need to sign somewhere on the manual, and I need everyone to have the manual for us to be able to undertake this. So the 16 modules will come from there, the manual. And then the stage 2. Stage 2 is weekly book review. Weekly book review. As we have already noted that a leader is a reader, so we'll be building our reading culture. We'll be enhancing our reading culture. If you've been a good reader, we'll just help you to become better or keep on becoming better. But if you are not, you would not build that reading culture, we'll also challenge ourselves so that we can build reading culture in this session. So we'll be going through this book, Purpose-Driven Leader. So we'll go through this book. Every week, we'll slot you some few chapters. You will read through those chapters, and then you will be able to make a brief summary, which we'll submit through email. We'll share the email. So we'll be going through this manual, this book every week. We'll give you more guidance on that. And then stage 3, there will be a project proposal. This is a group project proposal. So we'll give you more details as we continue. We'll identify a challenge, a gap in the community, and then we'll propose how do we fill that gap as global leaders. And then there will be a course evaluation, final online course evaluation. We intend to have study tour, but we are holding this one for now because our study tour was aiming neighboring countries so that we can have an experience of what is happening in other countries on the issues of leadership. But because of the prevailing condition, stage 5 is not being implemented now. So we are implementing the 4 stages. For the manual is divided into 4 levels. Level 1, essential of leadership. This will focus more on self-awareness. Then level 2, intermediate leadership, development, redefining leadership. Level 3 will focus on core leadership competences, developing and deploying my leadership. And then level 4, helping others deploy their leadership. So that's the structure of the manual. The course can be done both in 3 ways: 5 consecutive days, 12 weeks, or 8 months. But for us, we are going with the 12 weeks. We can have it virtual or physical or on location or centralized. But for now, we are only offering virtual programs because of the condition, the prevailing condition. So we'll just stick on virtual for now. And again, we'll continue looking at our purpose statement or our purpose, the core goal of this program. The moment you get your manual, you'll see this one. This one is in the manual on page 3. Those who have the manual ready, you can look at page 3. It talks about our purpose statement. There's no vital arm to champion leadership or to champion transformation than leadership. So we believe that, as we have already discussed in the perspectives, that if we invest in leadership, then we're investing in people who can be able to champion leadership. And we are driven by 2 Timothy 2:2. And the things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, and trust reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others. So as we go through this program, we are equipping you to become better wherever you are, but at the same time, to be able to equip others. So what happens is that when we equip leaders, every time we have an opportunity to train other leaders, we bring the leaders who have gone through the program on board to be able to equip others. So the knowledge that we are going to tap, we'll be able to share so that we can be able to equip others. And together, we can accomplish too much as long as we do not care who gets the credit. At the end of it all, we are all serving God, and all the credit goes to God. For the cost, or the cost, there'll be cost in terms of time every Sunday, 1.5 hours to a maximum of 2 hours. Financially, there's cost for the manual, for the book. Authenticity, there'll be a lot of sharing. From next week, we'll also start putting you into groups online so that you can be able to share your own experiences. So relationally, there'll be discussion on this. And then there will be now the cost in terms of the money. It will cost 4,500 for the virtual sessions. Okay, so basically we have handled the objectives through the perspectives, so I'll not go back to the perspectives. All these PowerPoints will be shared. So we'll share all these slides. So please feel free just to write what you can, but the rest we'll be able to share with you as we continue. Good, so let me pause there to take any questions and to allow you to stretch a bit. Allow you to stretch a bit and just share any question, either on the chat or you can unmute and share. If you can share on the chat, that will be good. Any question, any comment, any observation, we welcome them before we can move on. Okay, comments, question, observations. This is your time able to share. So I'll check also on the, I don't have the manual, so Vanis, it's noted. It's noted. So we'll work on the logistics of how to get the manual. Terry Mungai says you have the manual. Thank you, Terry. So you can post the question or the comments or observation, but if you want to unmute and just speak it out, please do so. Please do so. If you don't have the manual, please, you can note on the chat and also indicate your contacts, just in case you may not be there in our list, so that we can be able to reach out to you, especially Pastor Lucy from Kitengela. I doubt if we have your details, so it's good you share with us the details. Eunice, you say you also don't have the manual, so we note that. Joyce, we will have at any time for team building or outdoor activity. Yeah, sure, we'll have that. We are hoping the country will open up soon so that we can also engage on this. Is this the first day? Yes, Eunice, this is the first day. This is the first day. And as I said, this recording will be shared so that you can follow through. If you joined late, we'll share the recording to allow you to follow through. Thank you, Eunice. So if you don't have the manual, just indicate your contacts. You can indicate your name and your telephone and probably location. We'll deliver the manual to you in the course of the week. So thank you, Eunice. Thank you, Joyce. I'm checking the chats in case there is any comments. Pastor Lucy, are you there on board? I'll also want to just check.
Yes, I will communicate later. I will communicate.
Okay, we'll communicate later.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Robert, this is a good program for all. Kindly embrace it. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, comment or contacts. Okay. Eunice, will it run through the coming Sundays? Yes, every Sunday for the next 12 weeks. But today we have counted one, the first Sunday is gone. So from next Sunday, it will be 11 weeks. And time goes so fast. The moment we start the classes, you'll be surprised how time goes very fast. Will it run? Okay, in case you miss. In case you miss, we are recording. Every sessions will be recorded and shared. So we'll share the YouTube for you to be able to catch up. Vanis, how do we go about payment of both the manual? Okay, so we'll post the till number. We'll post the till number just now. Can we pay installments? Yes, indeed, you can pay installment as long as within the 12 weeks you have cleared. But we always advise that you make probably a 20% first payment. But basically, we are saying you can pay installment for the next 12 weeks. We allow that because our priority is so much on how we are able to pass the information. So we really don't want to have any hindrances for someone who desires to learn. Okay. Okay. So payment, the whole amount should be 4,500. Yes, Eunice, I confirm that. I confirm that. Okay. So I'm still watching the chat. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your comments. Any other comment? Okay, any other comment? Okay, the till number has been shared. The till number is there, and the name will be Generational Leadership Network. So you can note the till number from Rebecca. How shall we get the manuals? That is Eunice. Please indicate your contacts and location. We'll call you and deliver the manual to you. So just feel free to indicate on the chat. And also there is a link that we are sharing on the WhatsApp. There is a WhatsApp group. I don't know if all of us are in the WhatsApp group, so we'll also need to check that. So please just indicate your number and your location so that we can check if you are on the WhatsApp group and also confirm how to deliver the manual to you. So Vanis, we have noted your number and location. Thank you. Okay, so Eunice also, thank you for the contacts. So just share your contacts so that we can be able to get back to you as we continue. So today we may not handle the first lesson. We normally handle the first lesson on the first day, but I've seen a number of you have not received the manual, so it will not be fair to start the sessions. Because we require you to fill, there are blank spaces in the manual. So as we read through, as we do the sessions, there are spaces that you need to fill through. So if we start before you have your manual, it might be a challenge. So we'll start the session next week, lesson 1 and lesson 2 and lesson 3. The first lessons are not very long, so we can be able to handle even 3 lessons in the first session. Sarah, please unmute and share your comment. I see your hand is raised up. Sarah Joshua, your hand is raised up.
No, that was long time ago. I lowered it.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I think we just missed to hear.
No, we are doing well. We are liking the class.
Asante.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are we expecting graduation or certificate? Yes, there will be certificate and there will be graduation. We have been graduating our students during the open days or during the retreats. So we'll work on that as depending with the situation. So there'll be a graduation and there'll be certificate, and the certificate are in collaboration with another leadership college. Okay, so I see there are still questions coming on board. So we'll just, in the next 5 minutes, we should probably conclude. So if there is anything we can be able to share on the chat as we conclude. There are some people who joined when we already started, so you didn't get an opportunity to introduce yourself. So maybe if you can just greet us as we close, I think that will be fair enough. I like Priscilla. Priscilla, are you on board? If you can hear me, Priscilla, you can just say hi and mention probably your expectation, or if your expectation has been addressed. Priscilla, I can see Eunice. Eunice, maybe you can go first. Eunice Njuhi.
Okay, praise God.
Amen.
Yeah, I just say hi and say I've liked the first day. And okay, looking forward for better things. Thank you.
Thank you, Eunice. Thank you so much, Eunice. Let me check someone else who was not there. Priscilla, or I can also, let me see, Christine Wambui. Christine. Okay, let me check Robert Wamalwa.
Oh, yes.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Brother. Good evening.
Thank you very much. I'm happy though I joined late.
Yeah, it is.
I have no much to say, but I'm one of the students and ongoing in an ongoing program, Cohort 9. And mine is just to encourage the team who are now ready to take off, that indeed this program is good and it will really help them very much. And we need to embrace it. Commit yourself, because now this is just like a calling. A leader is just a calling. And this one will really help to perfect each and everyone who is going to go through it. And they should remember that they will not be the same again. Amen?
Amen.
Thank you very much and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Robert. Robert is in Cohort 9. And Cohort 9, we meet every Sunday at 8 p.m. Every Saturday, sorry, every Saturday at 8 p.m. And that's for men from DC Umoja. So I want to pause there for today. And I want to appreciate all of you. And just to let you know that you've made the right decision. So let's manage the decision throughout to the very end by joining every Sunday at 4 p.m. This will be an adventure. We have many facilitators who will be coming on board to be able to share their experience. And I believe that as we move through, we'll become better and we'll appreciate how we can be able to tap that potential that is in us to be able to serve the kingdom of God in a more better, in an excellent way, and for the glory and for the honor of our Lord Jesus Christ. So I want to pause there and to appreciate all of you. Just want to invite Reverend Beth, if she has any comments to share, she can share the comments, and then we'll share the word of grace together as we close. Reverend Beth, any comments to share? Okay. So let's all unmute. Let's all unmute. We share the words of grace together. Let's all unmute. I see there. Okay. Okay, so there is also contacts. In case you need more information, there are numbers that have been shared there, so you can note those numbers, and then you can contact us. Okay, so let's share the word of grace together. Let's unmute. 1, 2, 3, and may the grace of
our Lord Jesus Christ,
And the love of
and the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now
and
and
forevermore.
forevermore.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. God bless you all. God bless you all and have a good evening.
Amen.